What's going on, guys? Caleb here, and I wanted to talk about in this video what I would do to get my first client. I had 0 case studies. I had to start over and grow a lead gen agency. And so we're going to dive right into it. We're going to cover step by step what we've done to sign our first client with 0 case studies, how we helped our clients as well sign their very first client with 0 case studies. And there's a common misconception that people think in order to grow a lead gen agency, they need to have a case study. And I'm going to show in this video how you don't need that and how you can follow step by step to sign your very first client with 0 case studies. So the very first thing that you guys need to figure out is you need to ask yourself, who is going to pay you money? All right, this is the very first step that we take all of our clients through. You need to find a niche in the lead gen agency model that need appointments and that need more sales. And really those two things are the backbone of any company. And you want to choose a B2B company in which you believe you can get results for and that you can scale in volume. And so the niche that I would go after personally and that we are going after are marketing agency owners. It's a growing niche and they have some money to pay you to get appointments and to help them with their sales process. So a sad story would be you signing on a client, not being able to deliver results, and for that reason, not getting paid. Because with this model, a lead gen agency model, you get paid purely off of results. And so picking a niche shouldn't take you any longer than 30 minutes. If you guys don't have a niche, you can go after the niche that we're going after, which is marketing agencies. So moving along to the next step, which is scraping the leads. Okay, so this is going to be dependent on which market you choose to go to. For example, with our example there that we gave you, going after marketing agency owners, we would go on Facebook groups and we would scrape all the Facebook groups to get Facebook profile links that we can then message. All right, but the different channels basically for your lead gen agency, depending on the market, is going to be Facebook, email outreach, cold calling, LinkedIn, Twitter, and possibly maybe even Instagram. And so if you guys want us to cover these specific channels, again, we have a full training on how to do this and how to fully automate your entire outreach machine so that you can book more appointments, collect more cash. And so you can check out this funnel here. The link is down below. So you can check this training out. It's a free training and the link will be down below. There's no boring video, no sales call, just a pitch deck in which you're able to see the entire thing. But without further ado, let me just go ahead and cover the fundamentals of what you would need depending on the channel. But in the meantime, in this video, let me just cover the high-level overview and cover each main principle when it comes to making every one of these channels work. So for scraping the leads, you want to identify how you are going to contact them and how you're going to scrape them. So the very first part is being able to use tools like Phantom Buster, being able to use whichever scraping tool you can do. There's Apollo, there's D7 Lead Finder. It's really going to depend on your niche. For our example, since we're on Facebook, we're going to use Phantom Buster that's able to scrape all Facebook groups, take all the users onto a Google Sheet, and then from there I can have our VA team or our outreach process just hit up all the profiles on that sheet. If you're using something like LinkedIn, there's a native sales engine that you could just search, get very defined with who you're looking for, and then you can send out a message there. So there's going to be tools within each of those platforms, but that's just the very first step. So once you're able to find a channel in which your prospects are hanging out in and you're able to scrape them, you want to take all the leads that you have. This is a problem I see a lot of people doing, is they need to take all the leads and put it into one centralized place. This is really going to be the foundation for you doing outreach, is you need to look at a big list of prospects and be able to organize it and strategically hit up every single prospect on that list. That's the only way you're going to be able to not only organize your efforts, but make sure that you're booking more appointments and have it in a structured way, which will allow you to be able to book more appointments. On this Google Sheet, what I recommend is that you guys just have 3 columns, okay? You just need one column for the method of contact, so whether that's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, you name it. Then the next column is going to be message sent. So did you send a message, yes or no? And that is going to be updated every time you do send a message. Then the last part is the date of contact. When did you contact this lead, so that you have all of the leads in front of you and you can see whether or not you sent the message and when you sent it. Guys, one quick note here is that you want to make sure you have at least 10,000 prospects to go after in a given niche. If you don't have 10,000 prospects that you're going after, the list that you're going after and that you're hitting up is going to get exhausted very quickly since we're doing high volume. And so we highly recommend that you go over 10,000 prospects in a given niche. All right, so once we have the idea of where the audience is hanging out at, we are scraping all the people from that audience and we're putting them into one centralized place. The next step is to then give them a really good offer. So we have them in front of us. I like to think of this as, if there's a group of people that you're going after and they saw you in person and you lined up yourself across all the other competitors, what would you say in a very short sentence that would be something that would convince them aside from everybody else that you're around? So there's always 4 elements when it comes to crafting a good offer. Number 1 is having a very good defined dream outcome. So in other words, when you're pitching your prospects, what are you pitching them? What's the dream that they're being sold? And that's the most important thing. That has to be something that the market actually wants. And this is where a lot of people go wrong, is they don't offer the market what they want. And for that reason, the market doesn't want to hop on a call with them or even want to respond to their message. The second one is the perceived likelihood of achievement. Now, this is going to be something that convinces them that you're going to get them to where they want to go. So we sold them on the dream outcome. Now, how likely, how believable is it that they will be able to achieve that dream outcome working with you? Then if you want to look at the bottom side of the equation, it's going to be time delay. How long does it take for them to get to the dream outcome? As well as effort and sacrifice. How much effort do they have to put in? How much sacrifice do they have to put in order to get to that dream outcome? For example, let's use getting a 6-pack. Let's say that's a dream outcome and you have lots of people that you've done it for, and so there's a lot of social proof, perceived likelihood of achievement. Now, if somebody has to wait 2 years and they have to give up their favorite food, they can't eat junk food, and they have to do cardio every single day, well, there's a lot of effort and sacrifice, and there's a long period of time that they have to wait for to get this dream outcome. And so more importantly, when you're working your offer, so I actually got this from Hermosi, and when you're looking at your competitors, you don't have to really come up with anything different. All you need to ask yourself is how much quicker can you deliver the result, as well as how can you lessen the load of effort and sacrifice that your prospects have to go to get to your dream outcome. If you can figure that out, you already have an edge in the market, and you can use that to your advantage. So an offer that we usually use with all of our clients, and you guys can take this word for word, is would you be open to paying us for every showed appointment that we got you with qualified prospects? This can work across the board, and across the board, everyone wants qualified prospects, and they only want to pay per showed appointment. This is what everybody wants, and so we give the market what it wants. We tell them this is completely done for you, again, using that offer framework, and we guarantee 15 appointments in the first 21 days without you having to pay any sort of setup fee, ad spend, or giving your newborn child. Okay, this is a very good offer, and it mitigates all worries that the potential prospect may have. It's a pay-per-show model, which is very risk-free, and we'll show you guys how to actually pitch it on the back end in the next step. All right, so once we have a irresistible offer, we're then going to move to the very last step, which is to automate or hire people to do outreach for you. So you really have 2 methods to do outreach. You have the one method, which is fully automated, and you have the other method that's manual, and you hire a lot of VAs to get the work done. And again, you can do the outreach on different channels, which there's about 5 or 6 channels that you guys can do outreach if you're running a lead gen agency. But really, the way to do it is going to depend on you guys. Again, we have a free training that you guys can check out, which shows you how to automate your entire outreach process. You can use that method, or you can go about the manual way. We've done that for 2 to 3 years. It's not as efficient, it's not as effective, but again, it gets the job done, and that's the most important part. So once you pick whether or not you're going to go manual with more VAs or you're going to do the automated outreach method, you're then going to scale the volume. And this is the most important thing. When you guys are looking to sign on your first client with 0 case studies, you need to not only have a great offer and do the exact steps that we showed you there, but you need to be able to understand input and output. If you can understand that as long as you scale volume, as long as you change this lever and you keep working on inputs, you will inevitably get your very first client. And this is exactly what we did for our client, is we just told him to set up Facebook DMs, do the email outreach, do the input, and long and behold, after 7 days of starting the campaign from scratch, he was able to sign his first $1,000 client. So just understand, if you guys are looking to get your first client, the most important thing is not the case study, it's actually the volume of outreach that you do. All right, so now moving to the last step, which is closing the clients, which is the most important part, right? So you guys have 0 case studies, you're scaling volume, you're sending out outreach, you're getting meetings, you're hopping on calls, you're pitching people, and now the pitch is what's most important. What I would do to sign on your very first client, 0 case studies, is do a performance-based model. So what do I mean by that? So ask them, would you be open, Mr. Prospect, to paying us for every showed appointment that we got you, Again, this is completely done for you. And what you would ask for is for them to pay you per showed appointment. So let's say that you're charging $200 per appointment. And how I would frame it is say, it's still pay per show. The only thing I ask is that you give me a deposit for the first 15 appointments. And so 15 times 20 would be 3,000. Now you're going to pitch them that price. They're going to pay you the 3,000 up front. And the great thing about this is that they're still only paying per showed call. You can tell them that you're going to refund any calls that you don't get within a certain time frame. So let's say if I don't get 15 calls in the next 45 days, I'll refund whatever calls I didn't get you so that you have your ass covered in case I don't get results. And this mitigates anything or any concerns about you not having case studies or you not being able to have experience before. They have a guarantee that you will get appointments or they'll just get their money back. Now, after you pitch the deposit for 3,000, 15 appointments for 200 a piece, what you're going to do is now you're going to price drop. So a lot of the times, and this is how we helped William sign his very first client in his lead gen agency, is we gave him the price, which is 3,000. And what you do is, let's say the prospect is a little bit hesitant because you do the price at 3,000. What you could say is you can work down. So you can say, well, instead of 15 appointments, why don't we do 10 appointments? Instead of 10 appointments, why don't we do 5 appointments? And this is how you can sign your first $1,000 sale, $2,000 sale, $3,000 sale. It's a no-brainer. You're guaranteeing results. And again, they're still paying per showed call. The only thing that you're doing differently is you're asking for a deposit for the first few appointments up front. So at this point, make the offer so good. That's the whole game plan with this, so that you don't need a case study, you offer a guarantee, and you just make it so irresistible for the person on the other side to just say yes. I promise you guys, if you follow that framework step by step, you will sign your very first client with 0 case studies. I almost guarantee that. Now, if you found this video useful and you guys want more in-depth training on how we automate outreach, how we place a commission-based tech appointment specialist that's able to handle all of your automations when it comes to outreach, be able to scale volume, and you only pay them per showed call, there's a link down below. You guys can check out our free training. There's no call that you need to do. There's no salesy video that you have to watch. It's just a deck that you can go through. It could show you the entire process. Again, that link is down below. And otherwise, guys, if you want more content on being able to get more appointments and being able to scale your agency, make sure to click the subscribe button. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.